Hey guys, welcome to Our Stories, 17 Years in the Drain. I'm from a broken home. My parents' divorce was a very bad experience. When I was 19, I met a girl I took for a wife 10 years later. She made me believe there is one person I can put my trust in. We have 2 kids and the last 6 years were a heavy load. I'm trying my best. I do not have a degree, yet I do earn more than most people with degrees. I'm twice above the country's average thanks to my capabilities. I'm taking care of kids and spending time with them and with her whenever she wants me to. She was always the star of my life, my best friend and lover. Last week I found out she is having an affair with our maternity school teacher. Supposedly she was feeling I don't appreciate her. I was trying to give her space and was waiting for her to come when she feels ready. She just started to work after 7 years of maternity. I'm completely lost for words. How can someone be so selfish and throw away something so good? Supposedly she has self-esteem issues and she is envy she does not have so much experience since we met so soon. I compliment her daily, bringing flowers and such as a standard. We were going to theaters and movie dinners, anything she wished for. I will admit I let myself go and gain weight, but that is the only thing I would blame myself for. She claims she wants to stay married to me and that she loves me while she asks if she can keep her lover. I'm not prudent, and when the topic would be introduced in a trustful way, I would discuss it. Right now I just feel betrayed with no wish to do anything. My core personality has been attacked and I'm not sure I'll ever be the same. I can't see her being trustworthy, and I think she is more crying about ending her current affair rather than hurting me. We had a lot of good sex since. I want to keep her in my life, but since she asked about keeping the lover, I have total erectile dysfunction. To sum it up, I'm pretty fucked up. My brain is a mess. I don't want to make my kids' life the same hell I have experienced, and even though I still madly love her, I don't know I can get over it. I know it's too soon to judge now, but I needed to tell anyone because I'm ashamed to talk to people on my social network. I always thought I had the best life among all my peers. But now it all feels like a big lie and a pile of shit. I understand it's shock and anger talking from me. Will it change? Especially when she acts the way she does? My cheating story. I hope I make this entertaining to read. I just want to help someone that might be going through being cheated on and to show them life can go on and will get better. To set the story up, I joined the Marine Corps in 2017 and had come home in 2018 for a big concert that happened every year in my area. Long story short, I made out with some girl in the crowd and got her number. We start texting and hanging out the day before I fly back to California. Over the next half year, we build a bond and start dating. I know probably shouldn't have dated someone I barely knew, but I was young and dumb. I end up coming home right before I go on a training deployment to Okinawa, a small Japanese island. We hung out the whole 2 weeks and have a great time with each other. Over the months we keep talking and I think I'm in love and am pretty much head over heels for this girl. Some Marines will probably make fun of me because this is the average stereotype for Marines. They get stupid and start saying they love some girl they barely know. But she seemed extremely genuine and innocent as could be. Looking back, there were obvious story flaws and things she would tell me about her ex and about how he was abusive and would force her to do things she didn't want to. We'll get to that in a second during my deployment, if you want to call it that. We continuously talk and call when we can, being that the hours are weird. During our time talking, things we're looking back on now that I realize were big red flags. But at the time thought nothing of it, being that I was very trusting. About 3 months before I come home, she starts saying things like she wants to erase social media because of how toxic it was and how much time it takes up in her day. No problem, it seemed completely understandable at the time. Then she says she's deleting Snapchat, which I thought was odd as it's more of a communication app. During the next couple of months, she starts talking to me less and less to the point where it was usually to go a day without conversation. I would ask why this was, and it would be the same excuse that she's just really busy with school and different things going on in her life. Eventually, the time comes for me to fly back to the States. I spend a couple of days in California before getting to go back to my home state. She continues telling me how much she can't wait to see me and misses me. Keep in mind she had visited my mom and dad's house several times while I was overseas. Will I fly home? And as soon as I turn my phone off airplane mode, she tells me she wants to break up. What? 5 hours ago, I was sitting in an airport waiting to board reading I Can't Wait and I Love Yous. Now we're breaking up after a year? So over the next 2 days, stories begin to surface that she has a new boyfriend, and I'm pretty blindsided and angry but need proof. And to hear it from her. So I confront her. And she denies everything. Eventually, she comes up with a story that her heart condition, I forgot to mention she has a hole in her heart, may not allow her to have kids, and she knew I had always wanted my own kids. But I assured her I loved her and we'd adapt and that I would do anything to make us work. Love isn't determined by DNA, and I've always been a firm believer in that. She says that she wants to give us a chance, and a few nights later we have sex in her bed at her house. This is important later. The next night I go out with friends and run into an ex of my buddies that happens to know my girlfriend's new man that apparently didn't exist according to my girlfriend. She unravels everything and tells me exactly what's going on, with proof. I'm sad, I'm depressed. I wanted to hurt someone. All I wanted was to answer and to find out what happened. This is where it gets weird. My ex had never deleted any of her social media, as she claimed. She had blocked me and all my close friends and family and started a new relationship and kept the game going with me for 3 months. I and the friend of the guy that was my girlfriend's new man decided we were going to tell him everything so he knew he was getting lied to as well. He had no idea, and I don't blame him for anything. I confronted her over text and got no closure or answer. I told her to stay away from my friends and family and do not try to talk to me again, and that I will make sure everyone knows about this and that her new man will also know about all the lies she's been telling to both of us. She said that if I told anyone she would get a restraining order against me. Like I didn't just tell her to stay away from me, faced with tears of joy. One of her new man's friends tried to contact me saying that I was a lying, abusive piece of shit, and nobody believed me after she convinced them it wasn't true. Including new men. I have never laid my hand on another woman before, and I was dumbfounded that all these things were being said about me. The first person I thought to contact was the abusive ex, and come to find out he told a very similar story to what happened to me. She had cheated on him multiple times and told stories about him being awful and abusive to other people just like she did me. From there I had nothing. No closure. No reasons. Nothing to understand why this happened. So I did the wrong thing and whiskeyed my way over it for the next 6 months. I was always trashed when I wasn't at work. Eventually, I concluded that I did nothing wrong. She was just a batshit crazy bitch and had a history of doing this to men. A year after all this, I met a cute little blonde lady at a bar and sat on the patio and talked to her all night till she left. She would go on to become my wife, and she eventually introduced me to her 2-year-old daughter. We got married and had a child last year. And I couldn't be more grateful for what this woman has done for me. She has given me a beautiful son and a beautiful stepdaughter that I treat like my own. Dad is barely in the picture. She makes me feel like I deserve love and that I can be who I am, and always supports and encourages me. I'm true with someone I'm prepared to die next to all the way to the end, and it's amazing. My point is I never had closure and I never had the answers I needed to cope. But life will go on, and if someone does this to you, then they truly aren't worth losing sleep over. Easier said than done, I know. But if this is you right now, just hang in there. I promise things will come around. It may be months. It may be years. But it won't always hurt this bad. I have not thought about my ex much till writing this post, and I feel zero sadness or emotion because I would do it all 100 times again to gain the life I have now. Subscribe for more stories. I will be posting more stories like this. Till then, you can watch other stories I have uploaded.